For many thousands of years, Indigenous people have lived on these lands and cared for them, and they continue to do so today. We're grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on this land and to give our respect to the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people of Mississauga and Ontario. Moving forward, our government is committed to honor the principles of truth and reconciliation, while we also focus on priorities that the Indigenous communities are asking for, including the construction of more affordable housing. That's why it is such an honor to welcome Premier Ford and Minister Surma and all our colleagues here today for this important announcement. No Premier and no Minister of Infrastructure has ever done more for Mississauga. We built the largest long-term care home in Ontario at the Wellbrook Place, which opened last year. We're completely rebuilding the Mississauga Hospital, which will become the largest hospital in Canadian history. We're building the Hazel McCallion line, which now includes the downtown loop. These are all historic game-changing investments for Mississauga and for Peel. This is one of the fastest growing regions in North America. We're adding over 20,000 new homes along the waterfront at the Brightwater and Lakeview Village. This includes thousands of new, affordable, and attainable homes within steps of transit, including a new GO Transit station on the Lakeshore West Line to offer more transit options to get more cars off the road and more people out of gridlock. But we know that the new water and wastewater infrastructure is critical to support this growth. The investment today will expand and improve the GE Booth wastewater treatment plant and will help get shovels in the ground to build over 46,000 new homes. I look forward to working together with our new Mayor, Carolyn Parrish, and our partners across Ontario to help more young families achieve the dream of home ownership here in Mississauga and across Ontario. And with that, it's my pleasure to invite Colin Best, the president of AMO, up to the podium. Thank you.
Good job. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in this morning's event. Municipalities share the province's commitment to getting more homes built. We know Ontario's needs more housing of all kinds for all income levels, and we know that a critical part of making this happen is investing in the infrastructure that supports growth. New homes need to be supported by transit, hospitals, schools, sewers, energy, flood management, parks, and all things that make Ontario a safe, sustainable, productive, and affordable place to live. Municipalities own and manage nearly $500 billion worth of infrastructure and support Ontario's communities. Each year we dedicate almost $9 billion in municipal funds to these systems to top up provincial and federal contributions. Municipalities are doing everything within their power to meet provincial housing targets. We know these targets are ambitious, and they need to be. Municipal governments are equally ambitious and will do everything we can to help Ontario meet its housing goals. Funding for water, wastewater, and infrastructure is a number of one thing that municipalities need to make housing targets a reality. Today's investment will help municipalities across the province get one step closer to their ambitious goals. The province and municipal governments know that investing in communities is an investment in Ontario's prosperity. By working in partnership across all levels of government and with broader housing standards, we can solve Ontario's housing crisis. And now introduce Minister Surma.
Thank you, Colin, for the introduction, and good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to be here in Mississauga today with Premier Ford, MPP Cazzetto, and Peel members to share more about our government's work to build Ontario and unlock housing opportunities across the province. Infrastructure is a critical part of our day-to-day lives. We use highways and public transit to get to work, we drop our kids off at schools, and we take those that need care to hospitals and long-term care homes. Infrastructure connects people to the services they rely on daily. As Ontario's population continues to grow, the demand for infrastructure to support these services will only increase. That's why our government is moving forward on delivering the most ambitious capital plan in Ontario's history. We are investing more than $190 billion over the next 10 years to build and expand highways, transit, build more homes, connect people to high-speed internet, and other critical infrastructure that will reduce congestion, bring housing closer to transit hubs, and support growing communities. Ontario's small, rural, and northern communities are essential to the growth and prosperity of the province. We are providing direct and stable funding for hundreds of these communities through the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund to help them renew, rehabilitate, and modernize critical infrastructure such as roads, bridges, water, and wastewater facilities. This year, we will continue to provide $400 million under this program. As communities grow, they also need access to reliable high-speed internet. Our government is bringing the reliable high-speed internet access to every community across the province by the end of 2025. This is supported by a historic investment of nearly $4 billion, which represents the largest single investment in high-speed internet in any province by any government in Canadian history. And as part of this investment, we are connecting 539,000 homes and premises. As we invest $70 billion in public transit, we're also building transit-oriented communities. These communities will bring more housing, jobs, retail, and public amenities close to transit. Work is already underway to deliver transit-oriented communities at 12 future stations along the new Ontario Line, Yonge North Subway Extension, and Scarborough Subway Extension, which will create about 54,000 new residential units, including affordable housing options. Having a strong infrastructure system is the first step in delivering the housing Ontario needs. Homes cannot be built without connecting them to drinking water and wastewater systems. That is why we quadrupled the Housing Enabling Water Systems Fund in the budget. We've heard from municipalities that one of the biggest barriers to building housing is the lack of underground water infrastructure and wastewater treatment facilities, like the GE Booth Water Resource Recovery Facility that we're here at. We have listened, and we are supporting our municipalities and builders to build more homes. I would now like to invite Premier Ford to the podium to share next steps. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to be out here, and thank you, Kinga, for that introduction. And it's great to be back in the beautiful city of Mississauga with a great mayor, Mayor Parrish. Great to see you today, and we look forward to working with you and continue building this beautiful city. Here alongside, as you just heard from, Minister Surma and Minister Sarkaria, Minister Williams, and MPPs Rudy Cazzetto, Amarjot Sandhu, Hardeep Grewal, Sharif Sabawe, and Graham McGregor. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge and welcome Guelph Mayor Cam Guthrie. You know, Cam, you're a champion out in Guelph, just like the mayor is here in Mississauga, and we just look forward to working with you. And Colin, I want to thank you and look forward to seeing you over in Ottawa at AMO there. Stephen Dasco, I should say, as well. And all the elected officials, Nadia from the Residential and Civil Construction Alliance of Ontario, Andrew from the Residential Construction Council of Ontario, and representing from the Ontario Big City Mayors, Ontario Home Builders Association, and the Ontario Sewer and Water Main Construction Association. Thank you all for joining us. That was quite a group there. I also want to thank everyone at the GE Booth Water Resource Recovery Facility for hosting us today. Facilities like this one are so important to all of our communities. We count on them in our homes, schools, hospitals, and businesses to provide clean water and drinking water for cooking and bathing and ensure wastewater is treated properly. And I want to thank all the workers here for the important work you do. And to the workers, I'll tell you, I think the world of you. And if it wasn't for you folks, the systems wouldn't be working. So we're very, very grateful. Here in Peel Region and across the province, we know We need to build more homes, and we know that maintaining and expanding our water, wastewater infrastructure is critical to getting those homes built. That's why, as Minister Surma mentioned, in our most recent budget, we made historic investments in infrastructure funding, including our Housing Enabling Water System Fund. This fund is going to help municipalities repair, rehabilitate, and expand drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater infrastructure. Importantly, it's going to help get shovels in the ground faster. So today, we're excited to announce that the first round of investments from this fund, a total of $970 million, has been allocated and will be distributed to 54 projects across 60 municipalities. All told, this round of funding will help build more than 500,000 new homes in communities across Ontario. This investment includes $35 million for Peel Region to support the expansion of this facility. By getting these upgrades in place, we will help get 47,000 homes built right here in Peel. And folks, we're not stopping there. We've been blown away by the enthusiastic response to the first round of funding, and we're stepping it up. On August 14th, we will open applications for a second round of funding with $250 million to continue helping municipalities get shovels in the ground. This brings the total amount in the fund to more than $1.2 billion. And this coming weeks, we will announce more details about how municipalities can apply for funding from the Municipal Housing Infrastructure Program, which we announced in our most recent budget. Because we know that working with municipalities and building infrastructure is critical to building the homes people need and deserve. Our record investments in housing enabling infrastructure will lay the groundwork to tackle Ontario's housing supply crisis and will help make the dream of home ownership a reality for more families across Ontario. Working with our municipal partners, we're going to get it done. Once again, thank you all for joining us, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much.
We will now open the floor for questions from the media. Please come to the mic and state your name and outlet. Just a reminder, the format is one question and one follow-up. First question.
Hi, Premier Jack Allen from the Trillium. How are you?
I'm doing good, Jack. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks.
Good.
I wanted to ask a couple questions about some docs we've received. So first is to do with the 413. Your government has cited increased congestion on the 401 in the coming decades as a reason to build it. But we've received some modeling that shows the 413 will not noticeably change travel times on the 401. So I'm wondering how that squares with how you've talked about the new highway.
Well, again, the 413 is critical. I don't know if you've ever driven down the 400 lately and getting from point A to point B and crisscrossing top of the cities there. It's absolutely critical. So I'm not too sure what doc you're talking about. I'll have to read it. But the more highways, the better it is. Not mentioning the 413, but the Bradford bypass as well. And we're also building Highway 7 from Kitchener to Guelph, and I know the mayor's extremely happy that he's going to have another highway going into his town. And by the way, Guelph has the lowest unemployment in the entire province. He's doing a great job. He's creating the environment and conditions for people to invest from all over the world into Guelph, along with our great mayor from Mississauga is doing the same thing.
Okay, we've also received some data from MMAH suggesting that there could be as many as hundreds of thousands of people who are homeless in Ontario. To give some examples, the data shows that wait lists for supportive housing are up to 7 years long, and that 30,000 new supportive housing units are needed. It clearly shows that homelessness has gotten rapidly worse over the past few years. So I'm wondering what your plan is to tackle it.
Well, we're going to continue building homes. We're putting record investments in homeless and in shelter, unlike any government has ever contributed towards that, and we're going to continue building. But the best way to get people, upper hand is basically get them a good paying jobs. There's still over 230,000 jobs available. So, if they're healthy, they should be working. If they aren't healthy, we will take care of them. I've always had that philosophy.
Hey, good morning. Premier Colin DeMello from Global News.
Hi, Colin.
Hope you're doing well. You sound like you have a cold.
No, I'm pretty good.
You're good? Okay,
I'm feeling
cool.
like a champ.
Cool.
I drank some of the drinking water behind me there.
Ooh.
Okay.
So this week marks the one-year anniversary since the Auditor General released the Greenbelt investigation, and we know everything that came out of that. I'm just wondering, 1 year later, what have you and your government learned from that entire ordeal?
Well, again, I think we're well on our way moving forward. We made that decision not to move forward with it, and we're going to keep moving forward, building homes everywhere other than the Greenbelt. So that's it.
So can I ask, other than what you just said, that you don't want to build in the Greenbelt anymore, what concrete steps has your government taken to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again?
Well, there's 14 or 15 recommendations. We've taken 14 of them, implemented them, and we're working on the 15th one.
Hi, Premier. Barbara with Queen's Park Briefing. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I just wanted to ask you again on the Greenbelt report that was released a year ago. Recently, in the last shuffle, you chose Steve Clark as your government house leader. I was wondering why was this decision made, despite of everything?
Because he's one of the most experienced and qualified members we have. He knows Queen's Park inside and out. He's a very credible individual, and I support him 1,000%.
Thank you, Premier. On a different topic, recently Tim Walz was nominated to run with Kamala Harris. I understand he has some ties with Ontario. I was just wondering, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I was happy as punch to see the governor get nominated as vice president, and we'll see, well, running mate, I should say. And it's all about building relationships. We've had numerous governors up here. We share a lot in common. When we sat down, we tossed the football around a little bit in my office. We gave him a CFL football, but you know, talking about buy North America, he understands that, and I get it. During the election, I'm just as bad as everyone else saying buy Ontario, and yes, go out there and buy Ontario made or Canadian made. And they're by USA, but we're stronger together. I explained to them that we're their third largest trading partner in the world. Ontario is. We do approximately $500 billion, a two-way trade. We're the number one trading partner to 17 states, number two to 13 other states, and we're the number one customer of those states. We're an economic powerhouse, folks, in North America. They realize it. No matter if it's manufacturing or if it's energy or mining, we're much stronger together. And the governor, you know, we're going to work well together if he gets elected. I'll work with anyone. I don't care, Republican, Democrat. I don't care who's in there. We'll work with them.
Morning, Premier. Global News Online. Premier, the town of Wasaga Beach is formally asking for your help to clean up Wasaga Beach Provincial Park as the town battles what its mayor says are misleading social media posts claiming people are defecating in the sand. What do you make of these posts?
Yeah, they don't have 100% proof, but we've given, by the way, Wasaga Beach $1 million to build bathrooms and build, you know, and hire more people. But I'd be more than happy to talk to the mayor. It's a very popular beach. And again, I don't, they have no proof that people are pooping in the park per se. So
just a follow-up,
it's pretty
Premier.
bad if they are.
In particular, Wasaga is asking for the province to ban tents in the parks, mirroring its bylaw on town-owned waterfront lands. What steps are you prepared to take to help the town improve its image, as Wasaga says it's been gravely harmed by this misinformation?
See, the problem with that, if we ban tents in provincial parks, that's just not going to cut it across the board, right? You can't pick and choose. I think people are respectful enough that, folks, don't be pooping on the beach. Simple as that, man. We have no proof of it either. And this social media, they get rolling on the social media. So, yeah, I just, they have to work with the folks there.
Good morning, Ken on OCB24. It's hard to follow up with that question, but Documents show two $25,000 donations by companies connected to Frank Stronach to the York Regional Police for the Chief's retirement dinner. Should people be allowed to donate directly to police force because of the potential conflict of interest those donations could create?
I don't know what conflict of interest there is supporting our police, but a lot of it goes to victim services. It goes to great causes. So I have no problem with any companies donating to the police. We need to support our police, and that goes for this morning too. That video going around, let's support our police. Let's thank them rather than getting Google glasses and trying to, harass our police. That's what I call it, was harassment. And why don't you say thank you, shake their hands, and keep going. And by the way, next time you're at a coffee shop, I'll run in and buy you a coffee. It's kind of creepy, the guys walking around with these Google glasses. It might be the thing, but I find it pretty creepy. Imagine some guy walking down the street, videotaping everything you had. Now they're using the glasses. Anyways, I support our police, and as far as I'm concerned, they did nothing wrong today. I absolutely love them.
Another question for Minister Surma, if possible.
Yep.
What progress has been made getting a second location for the Ontario Science Centre's exhibit fabrication? And where will the location be? What will the cost be?
Well, we have a request for qualifications out in the market. We've had participation. Staff are looking at the results. But what I will say is a big thank you to communities across Ontario. I've had, whether it's Kitchener or the Toronto Zoo, different organizations and municipalities reach out to government offering space for Science Centre programming. So we're looking at all options, and once there's an update, I will share that with the public. Thank you.
This concludes the questions for today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyways, thanks everyone. I appreciate you coming out. Mayor, did you want to say anything?
No, I just want to say thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, thank you.
Thank
Mayor
you.
Guthrie, you have any comments on this water? He's going to help out. You got to give the mayors a shot here.
Well, thank you. I just want to actually amplify what's already been said. The government, through Minister Surma, the leadership of Premier Ford and the caucus has listened to municipalities. We've been asking for help in regards to this infrastructure, not only through myself and my own city of Guelph, but through the Ontario Big City Mayors Caucus as well. And to have it turn around so quickly from budget to today, to have announcements, goes to show some of the urgency that the government has put actually behind this funding today. And I heard a question from the media here about homelessness. This infrastructure funding today can actually help unlock more housing for supportive housing for homelessness. So this isn't just housing for the missing middle, which of course is important, or attainable and affordable housing, of course, which is important, but this type of infrastructure funding can help unlock supportive housing, which also is helping those that are in such great need in our communities as well. So I just want to thank you on behalf of the Ontario Big City Mayors Caucus and on behalf of my city, and really on behalf of every city that's successful. And the fact that you're announcing today that there's a second round is phenomenal, because the urgency of the housing crisis is requiring us to have this type of help, and you've stepped up. And so, again, on behalf of everyone, thank you very, very much for what you've done.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.